Hello and welcome to Weekly Cooking with Becky. Today, welcome to 2023. What a better way to start than with a good chocolatey recipe that will not put you into any bad habits. Let's kick you out of your Christmas and your New Year's. We probably all had a little something we probably shouldn't have had. Let's get ourselves back in. So, let's start with this. Now, what I'm going to tell you first is I'm going to link a recipe, but I'm only following two parts of the recipe. So, the first part of the recipe, they have a recipe for a brownie mix. Now, in the brownies, I don't have two of the ingredients. They mentioned that if you don't have the ingredients, to use a Lecanto brownie making mix. To me, that is very expensive because none of my local stores have it. So to order it would be like over $8. But for just a couple bucks, I can go get Duncan Hines Keto. So clean keto peeps, this is not going to be for you. All right. If you want to be more clean, there is a recipe in the link. I'm going to go with this. We're going to be making a brownie layer, a peanut butter layer, and then a chocolate layer on top. So it's 3 layers and they're going to be very rich and gooey. So it says that if you use the Lecanto baking mix, to use a 9x9 pan, and their recipe says 20 to 25 minutes. Well, so I went looking, and the Duncan Hines says a 9x9 baking dish is 20 to 24. So the cooking times are about the same. Her recipe says, if you follow hers, which is a mimic of Lecanto, don't bake for more than 12. So she wants them on the fudgy side. I'm not going to go as low as 12 because of the eggs and stuff. She does say bake according to box directions, but you don't want to have a toothpick come out clean is basically what she's saying. We want to have a fudgy brownie. So in order to make sure that we're truly fudgy for this, because she doesn't want her recipe overbaked, she wants it to come out fudgy, we want these to come out fudgy. So what I'm going to say, and I'll let you know when I come back, is I'm going to take that 20 to 24 minutes and I'm going to set my timer for 15. And if it comes out just with a little bit of brownie batter, I'm done. And then you cool it for at least 1 hour. It's got to be completely cool before the next layer. And then I will come back and we'll make the next layer. But let's get to making the brownie mix. This is just a keto one, but I want to show you a cool new gadget that maybe you guys will love. Something I got for Christmas. So you can use her recipe, her substitute, or my substitute. The rest I will follow. So here we go. We have 2 eggs in a bowl. If you follow this one, I have 1/3 cup of water, and I am now putting in 6 tablespoons of melted butter. Over Christmas, I got one of these. I don't know if you've ever seen these, but it you push it down into a bowl and it mixes. I don't know if you can kind of see what it's doing there. So you do this. Now it's technically an egg frother, but when I got it, I don't know if you guys can even see, but it's already mixed up. It's like great. So what it said was it's great for brownie mixes and cake mixes. So I say, why not? I had scissors right here. Oh, there they are. So there goes in the brownie mix. I like it. Can you guys see that? Let me just kind of turn it to you. It's mixing up nicely. And I'm just going to scrape down the edges here. Actually, I'll just go around it with it. So with any brownie mix, it doesn't have to be perfectly mixed. But that's nice. Now it doesn't say anything, but you could always add chocolate chips or whatever to this if you wanted to increase the fudginess of it. That's totally up to you. And I am done. All right, so at this point, you are either going to put it into a greased 9x9 pan or a prepared pan with parchment paper. And I'm doing the parchment paper because I want to take them out and transfer them to a dish that I'm going to be, because you have to keep these refrigerated. So I'm just going to be putting them into a container and cutting them up by portion. So I don't plan on keeping them in here. So we'll just get these poured in. And like I said, if you want to use her recipe, if you have all of her ingredients, 2 of her ingredients are not something that everybody has on hand, and to go buy them for stuff that I don't usually use, I just kind of went this way. So the brownie, per brownie is still 2 net carbs, followed by what we're gonna do with the peanut butter, no sugar added peanut butter, and either Lily's or Make Believe or Chalk Zero chips, whatever you have in your house. So I'm just gonna spread this out. You'll need to save that other 2 tablespoons of butter for the top layer, because we're gonna melt that with the chocolate chips. So just kind of put that off to the side somewhere. Don't use it. Just trying to make sure this is even. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see that. All right, so I'm just following the Duncan Hines recipe because that's what I'm using. Up to you. And I'm going 5 minutes. If you're gonna do a store-bought, go 5 minutes under. When it comes out slightly moist, remove it. Cool at least 1 hour. This has got to be fully cool. You've got to be able to handle it completely before we go on to the next step, and I will join you at the next step. Okay, the brownies are nice and cool, and I just want to show you, they are like ridiculously fudgy. Oh my land, so good. All right, what I have already started, I'm going to put it in the microwave for a few to help it finish, just because of how thick it is. It is 1 cup of no sugar added peanut butter. I used Jif. Skippy makes one. It's literally peanuts and salt. Skippy makes one, Jif makes one, Kirkland at Costco makes one. Whatever you can find, just make sure that it's the no sugar kind. Otherwise, you're gonna get a ton of sugar. And then 1 cup of powdered sweetener of choice, and start mixing together. Now I started mixing, right now it's kind of clumpy. So what I'm gonna do, and I know this is plastic, it's all right. I'm gonna do about, let me just try 15 seconds. I basically wanna be able to stir it all up so that I can pour it on top, and then just cool it for about 5 or 6 minutes, and then we'll melt the chocolate. I went back and reread. So you do not need to use the butter when melting the chocolate. Let me see how this is. I'm gonna give it just a smidge more. I should have done 30. That's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all gonna mix. I don't care. anyways, you do not need to add the butter when you melt the chocolate. You're gonna just melt it in 15-second increments until it's ready. We drizzle it over the top. I'm not the best pourer. The goal is to smooth the whole thing out so that it looks even. If mine looks like a drizzle, it's gonna taste good no matter what. We'll see how it looks. All right, this looks like it might mix nicer. Let's see. All right, yes. So I'll go ahead and aim this down so you can see that it's now mixing up well. Okay, so 1 cup butter and 1 cup of powdered sugar. And now you can see that it's going in there nice and smooth. Just needed a little help. But that'll give us that, what do you call it? That Buckeye, if you've ever had chocolate Buckeyes, that'll give us that Buckeye sweetness. So while I have the camera down, here's the brownies. So now I'm just gonna pour this right on top. Should probably tell people that when it comes to frosting, I am bad. So I have no idea what this is going to look like. This is when I wish I had like a little mini froster. Let's see, I already see my big blob there. I need to scrape that off. Let's see. What do I have? Look, I'm happy. By the way, I just taste tested that peanut butter that was on my hand. So good. Right amount of sweetness. Okay. Trying to get it off of here. Yeah. If there is a trick to frosting, and seriously, whether it's peanut butter, whether it's frosting from a jar, whether it's homemade frosting, I tend to just not be good at it. That's why I said if my top layer ends up being a drizzle, well, it'll still taste the same. I will clean this little one off. I forgot I got this for Christmas. So I do have a little mini spreader. So I will clean this off while we're melting the chips. So far, I'm actually not doing a bad job. I'm proud of myself. Can somebody pat me on the back? Okay. Look at that last little corner. How'd I do, guys? Does that look pretty even to you guys? I think so. I think so. All right. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put this in the fridge for a minute while we melt the chips. It's still very thick. It's gonna pour right on top. Okay. And I'm totally rinsing this off, but I feel like Buckeyes right there. Just dip that in some chocolate. Okay. Remember, 15-second increments. Let me get that rinsed. Be right back. Okay. This is, I forgot to tell you, this is a half a cup of chips of choice. So we're just gonna get that melted up, but it's just chips of choice. This week I'm using Bake Believe. I use my two go-tos are Bake Believe and Lily's, because you get Chalk Zero off of Amazon and you have to order a bunch of packages. So, but if you're somebody who does that, I've been told good things about them. I just go to the store and buy whichever's cheapest. Okay, they're getting there. I am now at 30 seconds. You just don't want to burn the chocolate. So I'm stirring. Okay. But literally, this is it. This is pretty good, guys. And then I'll let it set up in the fridge for about another hour or so before we do the taste test. So everything sets up, the peanut butter sets up, it gets harder. The chocolate becomes hard back into a chip consistency. We want to have the whole thing ready for you guys. All right, I'm gonna put that in for 10 more seconds while I pull out the brownies. That looks great. I just wanna be able to do the full, literally 10 seconds. So that was a minute and 20, that's a minute and 30. All righty. Here we go, like that. So here we go, adding the chocolate on top. Like I said, I'm just gonna, I have no idea what it's gonna look like. You just have to go with me on some of this. I may end up swirling. If you just wanted to do the Buckeyes though, you would just do the peanut butter layer and the melted chocolate dip with toothpicks and set them on wax paper. So there's a easy way to make Buckeyes. So let's see what I can do here. Like I said, it looks like I might be doing my swirl at the end. The lady's picture that I'll be attaching, she makes it nice and smooth. I'm close. Gotta admit I'm close, but I want it to get out to the edges. Let's see. I can do this. I have faith in myself. That's why I gotta tell myself, I can do this. All right, so as I said, I'm no perfectionist. It's not perfect, but that's pretty close. So at this time, it's going back in the fridge for at least an hour or so. I want it to be fully set up to where I can cut it into bars and it will stay in the 3 layers. And then I will come back for a taste test. See you in a little bit. Alrighty, here they are. Don't those look great? So here I go. Gonna take a bite. I'll give you a close-up look. Oh, that was really, really good, guys. Definitely a fudgy brownie. Definitely great peanut buttery icing. And that chocolate just hardened on top. Highly recommend these. You're gonna be wanting to make these throughout the year. So, Happy New Year. Happy 2023. And I will see you next time. Bye.